Hi. I just discovered this. I got a Canon camera, and it's one. And I don't know why it stopped. Come here, Angel. I have no idea why it stopped. I just noticed that it had gone in. I don't know if there's a timer on it or something, but it seems to go in and out at will. So what I was trying to say is that I'm looking for somebody who's kind of like me, who is not into religion, but I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. But I'm not a born again. I believe that I've been to heaven twice, and my higher power has taught me to learn to listen. I'm in 12-step programs by accident. I was in my 4th year in university at Simon Fraser, and I was doing my nursing at the time, and I was at Douglas College doing my nursing, or Douglas, it's actually called Vancouver University, and I took a course through Edgewood, and it was worth 5 credits apiece, and so there was 3 courses: drug, alcohol, sex abuse, and family counseling. And my professor was kind of funny because he said, "How many people here as the first child?" The whole room stood up. And he said, "There's nothing worse than a counselor sicker than their clients." And he said, we all suffer from the Jesus Christ syndrome, and we're flaming codependents, and we had to get a counselor, and we had to go to CODA and ACOA. It was mandatory because he says codependency is the core addiction. Edgewood has an 85% success rate, and they use the Bradshaw approach, which works on your family history, and codependency is the core addiction. And if you don't work on your addiction can be anything to extreme, from shopping to hoarding to drugs, alcohol, and it's a symptom of lack of self, and that means not loving yourself and giving yourself up to people, places, and things, which was developed by Bill W. So consequently, I'm not into blue carders, and blue carders are, to me, people that are in AA or NA that don't want to work all the other programs. And what I discovered is my sponsor, he was awesome. Tex said, he says we're like a diamond, we have to work all the sides. I'm hoping to find somebody who's spiritual like me, who believes in the 12-step program. I believe that Jesus is using the 12-step program to heal the world. And I'm going to be working with George Takus out of LA, who has recovery homes for teens, and I want to start Earthship houses across the world and get the teens out of the city, get them pounding tires and doing pet therapy, because I was the Canadian angel at 9/11. That's what they called me on CNN and in the newspapers. And down there I did pet therapy, and I had my bicycle and went down to St. Paul's and helped people. I had the motorhome at the fire station that lost 25 people. And I also worked with the girls in the cleanup, and I worked with the NYPD, a bunch of crazy lesbians. And when I went down there, I was very homophobic, and my higher power is a way of training me, in spite of me, to grow. And I believe everything that's negative is positive. When I first came into program, I was 350 pounds, cancer, fibromyalgia, and I was in a wheelchair. And through the process of the program and going back to the places where I felt the pain, and working with Dr. Parkinson, who was awesome, who worked with post-traumatic stress disorder, I discovered with the Jehovah's Witnesses, there was a lot of, for me, spiritual abuse. There was no joy in that religion, no fun, no laughter. I love Christmas, and that's why I put it on display, and so that you can see that I really do love Christmas. But I don't see Christmas as Jesus' birthday. I see it as God's way of teaching us to be happy. We don't know how to be happy. That's what I love about a lot of my Jewish friends. Jewish men really like me. I wouldn't mind having a Jewish man if he likes to do mechanicking, because I really like RVing as well. Being Canadian, I can live 180 days in the States and 180 days in Canada, but I'd like to go back to BC because my mother's 90, and she's not doing too well. And my brother's there as well, but he's got diabetes and he's babysitting mother. That's a full-time job. So what I'm looking for is someone who has the dream of helping people. I find most men that are my age have stopped dreaming. I like the way Cher said it. They had an interview with Cher, and they had an interview with Cher. Who else was it now? Oh, I can see her right in front of me. And they also had, anyway, there's 3 women that have younger men, and they said, and And they asked Cher, why are you going with younger men? She says, well, and they called her a cougar. And she says, I'm not a cougar, they're interested in me. So I thought that was awesome. Mary Tyler Moore, that was the other one. And so was the one that does all the, Jane Fonda. And Jane Fonda says she prefers younger men because they dream. They're still dreaming. I did a paper in my fourth year university about retirement, and they discovered that most people that retire die within 3 to 5 years because they forget to dream. I plan on living to 105. I saw this thing on TV where this woman was 105 and she was getting married again, and she was marrying a 75-year-old, and they asked her why, and they keep dying on me. She says, I want one that will stay around. And they said, how long do you expect to live? And she says, I'll live him. So I thought that was awesome. So if you've got a sense of humor, you like pets, I would prefer somebody that's that is able to leave, and we could go where we go. I want to go south in the summer and the winter, north in the summer, south, and I'd like to travel. I've lived in Japan. I'm not prejudiced. I really don't like the N-word. I'm finding a lot of the guys who seem to think I'm awesome on the dating site seem to be from Georgia, South Carolina, which I find they're very bigoted and very narrow-minded. I haven't got time for negative people. I really don't have time for guys that are rednecks, the gun people, and they have a lot of anger about the government. I mean, the governments have all been screwed up. The time of Jesus and the time today, it hasn't changed. The only difference is that you've got to learn to live in the now and be happy with what you got and have gratitude. And every time I have gratitude, I get a miracle. I have these crazy little prayers all through the day. And I thank God. And I have this thing that's on one of my things. It says, I don't believe in miracles. I rely on them. My whole life is one miracle. When I think I had cancer, now I drink a baking soda 6 times a day if I can. And I put it with apple cider vinegar, and I put it with lemon juice and all kinds of stuff. I live on turmeric, and I've learned to have my coffee with the grounds, so it helps your system. I've learned to change. I love eating, you're going to laugh at this, dandelions, and my animals all get the same, and since I've done that, they don't have worms, and they're healthy. I've learned to change, and I want somebody who's willing to change with me, because what I was yesterday it's not what I'm going to be today, and I haven't got time with guys that are still angry at their wives and all this shit. And I don't need any Nigerian scammers. God, I've been hit with, I don't know what it is about my profile, but every second guy is a Nigerian. And they're not hard to check out. I'm getting really good at it, and then I report them. So if you're a scammer, don't try to get a hold of me, because guess what? I will report you to the FBI, and I will get your IP, and I will track you down. Because I've discovered, even though they've got this new thing called Tor, it doesn't work. It only works for so far, because you can unwind anything if you have the right equipment. So if you're Nigerian, don't bug me, huh? I'm looking for somebody who's sincere. I don't like guys that smoke, because I don't smoke, drink, or gamble. I won't put up with guys that smoke, drink, or gamble. Mind you, Caesar's Palace said they would sponsor my society if I put it in Nevada. I have my society in BC. I have AAA 12-step. I have 12-step church for teens. I'm all over the web. Google search NY-9-11 Canadian Angel, and I write books as well for teens. You'll find me everywhere. I have 12 blogs. I have, oh God, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Twitters for my society. It's cares, life, wisdom, all sorts and stuff. And the reason I call myself, my nickname is Care, because when I was an industrial spray painter for Dilling, they wouldn't hire girls. I was the first painter in the world to do height painting at 1,000 feet. So I said my name was Carrie, so they hired me. And once I was on the job, the Yugoslavians said, oh, go home and have babies. I wobbled the job, and I was the first woman. I worked on Site 1, painting the dams. I also painted the Pisces, because I used to work for Johnson Nevin. I also painted trucks. I have my Class 1 and my air brakes as well. Mind you, I almost froze my hand. Stop that in a hurry. So the dream I'm having is somebody who's self-sufficient. I don't like guys that are